Well, jeepers! You're listening to Smash or Pass.
Hi everyone, welcome to another video on the JayBee
Hello.
and Milly channel. Today, of course, we are joined by Rhianna.
Hi.
Smash.
Hello.
And we have the absolute pleasure today of being able to speak with Alicia D'Ariano.
So close.
Yeah, it went really well when I was practicing the intro before this, I promise.
The apostrophe, it throws everyone off. It's Alicia D'Ariano.
Oh, thank you so much for joining. I guess we apologize for our British ignorance there. That's
oh my gosh, no worries. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I teach as well. I always tell the kids just to call me Miss D.
That's
completely
so sweet. Incredible. Thank you so much for your understanding, and of course for being here today, because we have been such big fans of your performance ever since seeing what we have been able to catch on social media and YouTube, and especially when we went onto the initial website for the Scooby Doo live show and we were looking at all the cast members, and we noticed from your bio that it says that you are a singer and an actress, and I wanted to ask if one of those things came first or if one of them kind of led to the other one.
Yeah, I've always loved to sing, and I had a lot of energy as a kid. So my parents were like, maybe the stage is good. And they put me in like a musical theater camp, Original Kids Theater in London, Ontario. And I just loved it, and just kind of got into all of it by doing that, and took vocal lessons from there, and piano lessons and stuff. I was always very musical, so it just kind of blended well together.
And I know you said that kind of happened when you were quite young. Was there any, either singers or actors that had inspired you as a child to kind of want to pursue that route?
Like music-wise, I've always been into rock music actually, and like I just love soulful rock music. And I guess what always fascinated me was like the big powerhouse vocalists, like Aretha Franklin or Whitney Houston, Celine Dion, a fellow Canadian. And I always loved Heart too, the Wilson sisters from there. Like they just any big vocals, I think I gained my belting kind of from listening to them. Yeah.
Nice. So many good names you threw out in there.
They're good ones.
They are, for sure. So you've performed in a production of Beauty and the Beast. Can you elaborate on that experience at all, what that one was like?
Yeah, that was the dream, guys.
Yeah.
I got to play Belle, so that was amazing. The cast and the crew was just truly like incredible for that one. It was very organized, super professional. The talent was just unreal, and that was in London, Ontario as well. And I remember getting a call back for Belle and thinking, like, going into the room and just being like, I'm such a black horse among all these other little soprano singers. So I was like, these people are either gonna love it or hate it. So I'm glad they liked my portrayal of it. And the director was great for that. She really would like. Her name was Karis. She would like sit us down before scenes and talk it out and kind of go over motivations and text, which I really like when directors do that. Yeah, it was the best experience, and to play like the ultimate Disney character, it's just it was magical.
Oh wow! Like even before this, just as you came on, I could actually picture you playing Belle. And
yes, the second
you
you said it, I was like, that
her.
makes so much sense.
Oh, thanks, guys. That was
So
like
I guess,
usually
sorry.
I'm like a funny like secondary character, but that was like such a little Disney princess, so it was a cool flip for me.
I wish I saw like I could see you perform as well, because that would have been amazing.
Thank
So
you.
I guess sticking on to the Disney side of things, if you could be a part of the stage adaptation of any Disney movie, what would it be, and what is the role that you would like to play?
There's a few. Can I say a few?
Yeah, of course.
I've always loved Hercules, and I wish there was a stage adaptation of that, because I would love to be Meg, because she's just so sassy, and of course, like Susan played her voice as well, Susan Egan, who was also Belle's voice, so like singing voice. So I just like would love that. And Elsa and Frozen, and I think I really like Mary Poppins too. Dip into the English side of things.
That would be
Yeah.
amazing. I'd love to see any of those performances. That would be so good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it would be a blast. Maybe one day.
I mean, we could, pray or start like some type of a campaign or something, because just imagining you in those roles is incredible, especially considering my kind of like guilty pleasure is playing the Disney CDs, like for like long car journeys and stuff. So some of those that
Me
you've
too.
mentioned are absolutely iconic to me. But I
Oh yeah.
suppose, given that kind of history of touring, and one need only look at the Scooby Doo live show social media account to know that a big part of the production, as opposed to just like performing, is the traveling. It seemed like on that kind of first leg when we were like keeping up with everything every day, there was a bus journey 1 second, then a plane journey, then back on a bus. So is the kind of touring lifestyle one that appeals to you?
Oh man. Okay, so yeah, I always loved traveling. Like I've traveled many places, but I'm a bit older now, and it's quite tiring. I'm not gonna lie. It's amazing. It's so much fun. It's still like a blast, especially after 2.5 years of not doing anything. So it's like really getting my extroverted side like that fix, but it's tiring. There's been some days where I'm like, can I do the show? I am so tired, but you just pull through. And everybody else makes it so much better too, so that's great.
I mean, perhaps my next question then might be a bit on the daunting side, but I guess we've mentioned and we've seen from the website that you are from London, Ontario, and I guess being from the UK, we're happy to represent the other London, United Kingdom. And I guess my question is, have your travels ever taken you to London, England? And if so, or if not, does the idea of touring internationally appeal to you?
Yes, you guys are definitely from the better London. Yeah, I actually have gone to London and it's amazing. I was there in 2019 for a few months. I was doing like my last teaching placement there and I had so much fun. So yes, I've been there. It's the best. I almost moved there until I met my now fiance. And so I stayed in Canada, but yeah, I would love, like, I'm very open to touring internationally. I'm hoping for that actually. So that's in the future of possibilities, hopefully.
We're hoping so too, because we're really wanting to see the Scooby live show. So we're just
Yeah.
hoping that you do get the opportunity to travel internationally so we get to see it too.
Or maybe you could even bring
Yeah.
Hercules here one day. That would be something that like we're gonna love to see eventually. And we'll be
So
singing along, yeah,
cool.
that's ancient history, been there, done
Done
that. I'll be
that.
like in the front row, like doing all sorts.
You're ready. You're ready to join the divas.
Absolutely.
I guess kind of going back to that Scooby kind of avenue a little bit, we saw on the website that you did grow up watching Scooby Doo. Do you remember enjoying a particular show or series or movie?
I just remember watching reruns like every morning before school. Like I would get up, have my breakfast, watch Scooby Doo every Saturday as well. So I think those ones were probably the series from the 80s. But beyond that, I don't think I watched much. But yeah, I don't remember any like specific thing, but I would watch all like any episode that was on. I just friggin' loved it.
See, this question might be a bit obvious in its answer, but did you have a favorite member of Mystery Inc?
I want to say it was Velma, but it wasn't. I feel really bad. It was definitely Shaggy and Scooby. They were just
Ooh.
really funny and like goofy, and like I'm personally a goofy person, so though I like Velma because she's scientific, it's definitely Shaggy or Scooby.
No, that's a good answer.
Oh.
That's okay. Go off of the character that you do play. That makes it more interesting.
Right?
Was there any like Scooby-Doo merch that you had growing up, or even that you have now?
I actually didn't get like I never got merch growing up, but when I started doing the show, a friend of my mom's had this vintage Mystery Inc. Gang van as like this old like car thing. So she gave it to my mom to give to me, and it's really cool. I don't have it in this room. I should have brought it to show you guys.
Okay.
I also just like kind of moved recently, so things are not really like where they like at reach, but it's really cool, I swear.
I guess if you have
No,
like a
it sounds
photo of
cool.
that at any point and like you found it in the next, like couple of days, I can try and
I'll send
include
it
it
to
at the
you
end or
guys.
something. But like that just sounds absolutely incredible.
JB's just
Yeah.
saying that because he's kind of a Scooby collecting addict at this point.
Uh,
There was one
Yeah.
interview where somebody mentioned some merch, and all of a sudden he was bringing over half his collection.
a
Just
show
like,
and
I
tell.
have this, I have this, I have this. Oh.
Just a little show and tell. Can I ask you guys, was Velma any of your favorites? I'm curious who your favorite
oh my gosh,
member is.
yes,
Rihanna,
Rihanna representing
Yeah?
Team Velma
Yeah.
very strongly.
I always related to Velma quite a bit, but it was always Scooby Doo's my number one, and then
Yeah.
it's Shaggy, and then it's Velma. And
Okay, yeah.
people always ask me, and I'm like, okay, I'll always go for like, I'll actually say like Scooby and Velma. I'll always like miss Shaggy out because I feel like a lot of people relate to Shaggy, but those two, I love their pairing in a lot of like the shows as well. I feel like they have a unique
Yeah.
chemistry.
I think so too. Well, that's great. I was just
I
curious.
I definitely, I say Shaggy's my number one, but my boy, he always says Velma's his favorite. So
Oh, that's nice. There we go.
I probably
We
think
got some
after
Velma
seeing
fans.
the live show, I think Velma could be my favorite by the end of that because it's just so
Indeed.
incredible to speak to you. And again, the
Ah.
performance is just incredible. So I'm definitely prone to conversion, as it were.
Look at that. We'll have to see. That's great.
Okay, so some more Scooby history, I guess we could say, is that Frank Welker has done the voices of Scooby since like 2002, early 2000s, but he's been Fred for the whole time. But were you excited to learn that he was doing the voice of Scooby for your show?
Yeah, so I actually had quite a quick turnaround with joining the cast. So I didn't know before I showed up to film for them in August 2020. So when I obviously watched the show and I was like, this guy's voice is so like it's gotta be the real guy. I remember getting to rehearsals and I turned to a castmate and I think it was Alex, but I can't really remember. And I remember being like, is this Frank? Is this him? And he's like, yes, Alicia. I'm like, no, there she goes. Very cool. But yeah, once it was official, I was like, that is the coolest thing. Yeah, very, very neat to hear.
Wow. I think all of us would have had a similar like reaction finding out that it was actually Frank. Like,
Yeah.
so I guess sticking on like the theme of voice actors and stuff, throughout Scooby-Doo, there's been a very strong trend of people inheriting as such Scooby roles. So for example, we had Casey Kasem who passed the torch to Matthew Lillard. And if the current voice actor for Velma, who's Kate Micucci, were to approach you about taking over the voice as Velma for the new movies or shows, would you be interested?
Of course, that'd be so cool. That would be very, very surreal if that were to actually happen. Very, very cool. Yeah, I would love that. It's been fun to like research and get my voice down for the Velma that I'm creating. So yeah.
I really can't wait until like hopefully it comes to England and then we'll be able to see it on stage. So I guess going more on to the Scooby-Doo and the Lost City of Gold, how did you come to be cast in Scooby-Doo and the Lost City of Gold?
Yeah, it was oh my gosh. So this journey began like 2019 in November and like end of November, I think. And I had seen the posting and so I applied and I got a call back, and then I got another call back where it was still virtual because I live kind of far from everyone. And then something like it didn't work out in my path at the time, so I removed myself from the callback. I always felt like kind of iffy about doing that because I was like, I was so far in and I could tell they really liked me, but it all worked out in the end. So, and then I remember hearing, once COVID happened, I was like, well, they're not even going on tour anymore. So I guess that's fine that I didn't join. And then months later in the summer, and I think it was July or August, couple weeks before we were filming in August 2020, they emailed me again, and they asked and called me and asked if I wanted to come back and like film for them, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing anything. So yeah, and then ever since then, I've stayed on. So clearly it was meant to be, but such a wild journey.
COVID was a blessing in disguise then, the fact we got you as our Velma.
Yeah, so it just all worked out.
And I suppose more on your characterization of Velma and Velma as a whole. I forget where I saw it. It was definitely on Instagram, and it was definitely a reply to someone that had commented on one of the posts saying that they were very impressed with almost how it seemed that you were channeling an inner Linda Cardellini, and you replied to that response that they were one of your main inspirations for, I guess, your portrayal of Velma. So what was, I guess, Linda, your favorite part of Linda Cardellini's performance?
Yeah, when I've I've obviously done a lot of research and rewatched episodes and stuff. I really like I said, the 80s portrayal of those voices, but it was nice to have Linda's human form of Velma to like ground myself to and see. And she's a great actress. I just love her in general. And I loved her voice portrayal, so I really picked up on that, and just like the general I don't know, like her shyness but like nerdiness energy that she kind of took on. I really liked that, and I just like having a real human to kind of base things off of. So I really liked, I don't know, going off of some of the stuff she did, and I watched a lot of her clips when I was preparing for the role. Yeah.
That's incredible. And did that kind of research entail rewatching the movies as a whole, or was it a case of almost just as you say, watching those almost clips on, like, say, YouTube or something?
Yeah, like when I started the show, I had to familiarize myself with like our version of the show. So I watched our show hundreds of times. And then I watched clips of the other stuff, like just Velma, in different forms that I liked, and I just would rewatch those all over and over and over. So I didn't watch the movie again because I watched it enough to know it really well, but I just watched her playing Velma quite a bit.
And would you say that playing a core member of the gang was like added pressure because people knew of them, or that there was some benefit in that you say you had footage to go back to, as opposed to if it was a new role that had been constructed?
Yeah, honestly, yes. Like great pressure, but I just hold myself to a very high standard as well. So, and then there's that whole idea of that this is such a huge and popular series and so well loved by so many people like you guys and other super fans. So I really wanted to get specific things down in terms of the voice and even like the way she stands and stuff. So I listened to, and I really love like Mindy Cohn's and Nicole Jaff's version of the voice the best, I would say. So I really tried to pick up on the specificness of how they say Shaggy and Scooby Doo, and like just certain words that'll be like, oh wow, that was really Velma-y, And I would watch compilations of people saying Jinkies, like different Velma saying Jinkies. I could like get it down, and I don't know, just like how she poses, like she really stands with her feet together, but like kind of out and hands behind the back. Like I just try and add all of that as much as I can so that people can like experience a genuine version of Velma. Yeah.
And I think you've picked up on a few characteristics that, like you say, are iconic to Velma, like that stance with the hands behind the back. I'm thinking very clearly of a scene where Linda Cardellini was walking that way. I think just before an unmasking, was it in the Luna Ghost unmasking? Does she not stand like that? Yeah. The second you were speaking about it, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, that's all right. I can imagine that. And there have been so many amazing women that have portrayed Velma over the years, from Nicole Jaff, Mindy Cohn, Heyley Kiyoko. Did you have the pleasure of being able to speak with any of those about advice on the role? Did you hear any interviews that they'd done about, any voices that they'd done for the role and how they adopted the role?
No, that would be amazing to reach out to them, but they probably wouldn't answer me. I'm just little old me over here. No, I didn't reach out to them, but that's a really cool idea. Maybe I should have, or maybe I still should. Perhaps I will. I just watched their versions and listened to their voices of Velma just to prepare.
Well, like we were saying, you've certainly picked up on some of the things that like are completely iconic to Velma. So you've certainly got that nailed, and it would be amazing to be able to see the performance. We are so hoping it comes to the UK.
I hope so too. That would be great. Then we can meet in person.
Yay!
Yeah.
We've done so many Zoom calls. It'd be so nice to finally meet people.
I know it would. Absolutely.
So speaking of, your kind of voice for Velma and everything, and we love all the songs on the album, but do you have a personal favorite?
Probably Dare to Dream. I don't know if you guys remember that one. It's the end.
Yeah.
It's the second last one of Act 1. It's so much fun, and even like the dancing in it. We all love that one. It's the best. I would say that's the best for sure. I like
One
the
of my
song
personal
Sing It
favorites.
Daphne, but like that one's my favorite for sure. Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a great choice, of course.
Mhm.
So you've done about the first 2 legs of the show now. Do you have any experiences or favorite memories so far from performing the show?
I think just in general, like performing in these incredible venues, like they're so big and it's so surreal. I just feel so grateful, and I have no words really, especially after not performing for like 2.5 years and then finally getting this huge opportunity to do this. It's amazing. So that's a highlight for sure. And then the bus rides, it's like those little spaces in between the big stuff so that we can like get to know each other even more, like me and the cast and stuff. We have a really solid group of people, so I've been very lucky. Yeah. Yeah.
So you mentioned that, you've been on like the bus rides. Of course, you had the rehearsals and everything. So do you have any funny behind the scenes memories that happened that you can share with us?
Yeah, there's a lot. We just have such a silly group of people in the best of ways. There's this one part in the show. You guys had Andriana on. She plays Professor Falcone. She also plays a Cutie, and I won't really like give away what they are, but they're the best in the show. They're so funny. They steal it every time with little humor. And there's this one like sequence of dreams that's happening, and the Cuties are on the stage, and Andrienne, she changes it every night. Like she says the funniest stuff, but she goes across the stage and she goes wee woo wee woo wee woo, and it's like it just makes us laugh every time she does it. That the cast started doing a game out of it, and we like try and catch each other doing something, and we do like a little wee woo, and it's ridiculous, but that's pretty funny. And then of course I know Christelle gave me away and said I forgot to go on stage one time.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I swear I'm pretty on top of my stuff as an actor, and like I know when to go on. I know like the smallest details, and it was the first leg and I was really tired, and I was like, oh, I was already preparing to go around the stage to the other side to prepare for my next cue. And there's like the smallest scene with 3 lines in it that like me, Fred, and Daphne go on for. And I just checked out, went to the other side, and then Connor's running across to come get me. He plays Fred. And I just see like terror in his eyes, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I run back to the other side. And I'm trying not to like scream in my microphone because it was turned on because I was supposed to be on stage. So I'm like saying my lines behind the stage and like going on stage. It was like it probably looked fine to the audience, but to us, we were just in sheer panic mode. So we laugh about it now, but I was like,
in
Oh.
theatre, it's like one take. It's a one take wonder. You don't really have an opportunity to redo anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the joy of theater. What you can make up on the spot if something goes wrong.
I mean, this has just been such a surreal experience, obviously speaking to you, and as you mentioned, Rhianna and Christelle. And so
Yeah.
hearing the story about the Pachacuti, I'm just remembering when she gave us this like amazing rendition of their voices. And so I can imagine that kind of wee-woo scene, almost like I was there. And it's just incredible
so
how
funny.
doing these, I almost feel like I have seen it, but
Yeah.
more or less through such amazing people like yourself. So thank you so much for sharing.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, Andrienne is something else. She's amazing. She's so funny. She's got a brain, like just this comedic brain, and she just throws so much out there. It's amazing to see and to be around. It's really great.
It sounds like, the whole cast seems to be perfect. And, we had the opportunity to speak with a Scooby superfan earlier this year who he had the most nicest things to say about your performance, as does basically anyone who has seen the show. So what's your reaction to the positive response to the show and to your performance in specific?
Yeah, I listened to his interview with you guys. It was really sweet. And of course saw him in the front row. He was like the best energy to have there. It's amazing to hear. I mean, who doesn't like hearing great things about what you've done, right? Especially coming from a super fan who knows Scooby so well and like the intricacies of every character. So it's really great that it was positively accepted by him, and like we've worked so hard for the last 2 years on this. Like we knew we had something strong and like fun and great to show audiences, but you never fully know until you're in front of the audience and you feel that energy and you get to actually see, oh, okay, so people like this. People are enjoying this. It's awesome. Yeah. It's so great. I love hearing it. So, yeah.
Thank you so much for that. And again, like the journey with the show is far from over. I believe, looking at the website, you are scheduled to start back up again, I think the 22nd of this month. And so what about returning to the show excites you the most?
I'm just excited to see everyone again, because we've had 4 weeks off, and I love our cast so much. They're incredible people, and they all, like, a bunch of them live in Montreal, so they can just hang out whenever. But that's like 8 hours for me to drive, so I can't wait to see them again, to be honest. That's what I'm looking most forward to. And then to perform again, it's always great. Yeah. The SG.
Of course, seeing the show in itself succeed makes us so happy, seeing how people love it and everything. And again, we're kind of a bit on the green side of envy that we can't just like rush off to America and sit there in the audience and enjoy it for ourselves. But like we always in these interviews urge anyone watching this, if you can, please do watch the show. Like it's honestly incredible from what we've heard. We've seen so many like vlogs online about people that are just praising it to the heavens. So I'll make sure to leave any links in the description, but where can people purchase tickets for the show?
Yeah, our tour website, it has all the links for all the shows, and if you just click the tour schedule, you can buy tickets right from there. So our website, I'll give it to you guys as well, but ScoobyLiveTour.com is where you can buy tickets.
That's amazing. And I guess if we haven't made it obvious enough throughout this entire episode, we want it to come to the UK. Have there been any discussions of adding more tour dates, be that in America or internationally as well?
Yeah, they definitely want to add more dates. It's just with the slow reopening from COVID, they're just getting their ground and trying to, get people to take the show on. So I definitely I'm hoping other places like the UK would be on there. I would love that.
I'm glad that's a shared goal. It's something that we're really hoping for.
Yeah,
and I think that does almost summarize all the questions that we have today. Other than, do you have any social media where people can track what's happening with Velma, the performances, and also any other projects that you've coming up as well?
Yeah, I always forget my Instagram. It's just Alicia D'Ariano, but I'll give that to you. Well, you guys have me on Instagram. So
JayBee will put that in the description below for people
yeah,
wanting
you
to
can
follow
follow
that.
me on there, and I post about my life and the tour. I'll post stories about the tour all the time. So yeah, anyone can follow me if they want to join in the adventure of Alicia.
Well, that's definitely
Sounds
an
like a fun book.
adventure that we feel
Yeah.
so privileged to have heard from you firsthand and to keep up with. You know, we are so excited to see where everything goes, and again, fingers crossed for that performance of Hercules. Like, be it in 5 years from now, 5 months from now, however
I
long
like the Mary
it
Poppins
takes.
suggestion.
Yes.
You know?
Ooh,
Mary Poppins,
we're
yeah.
gonna have to debate.
She's
We're gonna have to debate
fun.
which one we want to do.
Oh, I love them.
Hercules, Mary Poppins crossover.
Whoa.
Yeah,
There you go.
you've cracked it.
Mary
Unheard
Poppins
of.
is, you know, it could be a unanimous thing. Maybe Hercules needed for when he was little.
She just floats in.
Yeah, there you go.
Like the gods.
Banished to Earth and then send Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Oh man, I would love that. That would just be one of the zaniest crossovers ever. But I'm sure
I
that
feel like that would
the
be your
people-
nightmare in terms of acting, because
well,
I know, you know, for theatre they do like, you know, they do things really well. For like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, for example, my auntie ended up crying when she went to see that because the car was like flying over the audience. I imagine
so
there's going to be
cute.
something where there's an umbrella stood and they do bring it down, and I think for you the heights would be far too much, JayBee.
maybe, but maybe I'd also be a bit spooked that kind of opening umbrellas inside is supposedly bad luck. So I'll just feel like I'm in a performance of Macbeth if I was in the audience. But I don't quite know. But I guess we've digressed quite a bit. But thank you so much for coming on the show today, because it really genuinely does mean the whole world to us that you prepared to speak with us and that you've given such amazing answers, and obviously, you know, you're giving up part of your day to be here today, you know, spreading the positivity and the joy. So huge thank you from all of us to you.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you guys. This was wonderful, and it was so great to meet you all. And of course, I'm excited to talk about the show. So thanks for reaching out.
Well, we were really excited to hear about it too. Again, like JayBee said, thank you so much for your time today. And again, thank you to anyone who's listening to this as well. Links for the tickets and things will be in the description below, as well as the Instagram links for Alicia.
Yeah, you can also see links for Ashton's YouTube channel, Smash, in the description down below. That's going to be linked there. And I guess all of our details will be there. Even you can get Rhianna's Instagram if you want to see her cute dog photos. I'm sure that's going to be absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, I suppose this wraps up another interview on the JayBee and Milly YouTube channel. Thank you sincerely so much for everyone that tuned in today. And again, please let us know in the comment section if you did purchase some tickets, and make us all jealous by sending us photos on our Instagram, because I'm sure I'll just be there like, why is this going on? But we're going to love it and we're going to share it. So no doubt that's going to be worth it for you. So yeah, please like, comment and subscribe to JayBee, Milly and Smash, and make sure to follow all the social media in the description down below. See you next time.